This is K4PEW, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. I don't think anybody's on frequency because I heard nothing. Um, any emergency or priority traffic? If there was, you'd already have said so. If you need help, call 911 or you call us after you do that. We'll talk you through it, maybe. For information on this, that you can see us on YouTube. Just put in my call K4PEW into the search block on YouTube. It'll come right up. You can hear what I hear, or you can see what your signal looks like on my screen. You can hear what everybody else's looks like on my screen, and then you can figure out how to make yours better. You can also go to our website for information, 146415.net. That's 146415.net. Kind of self-explanatory. It's all about Simplex and what we do. Or you can go to groups.io, sign up for the email. That's at groups.io, and just do a search under MJSS. If you have any questions about any of that, you can just email me at k4pew@arrl.net. And we conduct the net as we have for over 8 years now on 146.415 FM. That's 146.415 FM. And we also tonight we're conducting the net also on 144.240 and 50.135 upper sideband. So we've already done a DMR net, a Simplex DMR, a Simplex D-Star, and a Simplex Fusion net already at 7:50, and 7:30. If you're interested, you need to grab onto that too on Saturday night. And don't forget, tomorrow night is Sunday at 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. The mid 10 meter net on 28.415, 7:30 p.m. KM4YRF ably handles that, so be there, or be not. Or be, yeah, no, you need to be there. Anyway, the purpose of the net is to have fun, figure out what you can hear, what you can't hear, figure out how you can fix it, not fix it, or go watch the ball game if you can't hear anybody, or go look, see if your antenna fell down. As far as announcements, the announcements tonight are we have a net tonight, and also we have a 10 meter net tomorrow night, which I just mentioned. We also have a breakfast next Saturday at Golden Canal. Golden Canal. It's right down to the end of my gutter from my sewers. No, it's the Golden Corral. It's in Hermitage, and it's 8 a.m. because the doors don't open until 8 a.m. And then we just sit down and have breakfast and eat and talk and drink coffee and solve all the world's problems, at least part of the world's problems. Do we have any other announcements? Well, if you're keeping track, you're going to be taking check-ins from the north tonight, and we're net number 836. But we'll start with taking check-ins on, unless there's anybody's got anything to say. Okay, nothing heard. We'll go right over to taking early check-ins. Please cover those. Yeah, those that have are short on time.
Bravo Whiskey Alpha Mobile.
All right, I think I heard a couple in there. There was Kilo 4 Bravo Whiskey Alpha. Was that you there, Ricky?
Yeah, Roger that. I'm mobile tonight, so I'm just going to be real quick to give you a check-in. I'm actually heading up the ridge up into Portland on 109.
Oh, excellent. Very good. Hope you're doing well.
Doing good. I'm going to turn it back to you because you never know when you're going to lose your mobile. This is K4PWA back to net control.
Very good. That was Ricky. He's mobile. Kilo 4, just 1 kilo. Kilo 4 Bravo Whiskey Alpha. He does the Thursday night Simplex Net on 147.555 up there from Portland. So, anybody else short on time? Hey, Larry, how you doing?
What's going on, Paul? I don't know much, buddy.
Oh, very good. You down at the house today?
Come back.
You say you at home tonight?
Oh yeah, I'm home. Got my grandbaby here, and my kid and my daughter-in-law are all here. That's the reason I was kicking in early tonight.
Oh, very good. I'm glad. Hope you have a good time with the family.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be out at the breakfast next Saturday if that don't happen.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Hope to see you there at 8 o'clock, Golden Corral, Hermitage.
Okay, yeah, I know where you at. I know right where you at.
Very good. I look forward to meeting you.
Okay, buddy, we'll let you know. We'll catch you next Saturday. You have a good night.
Very good. K4PEW, good night. That was Larry, KG4, November Tango Lima, and I think it's November Tango Lima, if I have that correct. He's in Murfreesboro. Anyway, who else says short on time?
KG4SS.
Hello, how you doing, Charles?
Well, I smashed my thumb with the hammer earlier.
Oh, yeah, that's always fun. I've done that probably dozens of times.
Yeah, keep it the word out. I need some help over here with this antenna. It's up, but it's leaning over pretty bad. I might have to rent a bucket truck, or if anybody climbs trees, I just need somebody to get to the top of the tree and attach it to the top of the tree, and it's done.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I know there's somebody up there. Let me contact them and see if they're able to come out and help.
I sure would appreciate it. I got all the coax and antenna and the pole, and it's up there, but it's leaning over pretty bad.
All right, very good. Yeah, no, we'll see. I mean, your signal's pretty good tonight, though, Charles.
Yeah, but it's leaning over pretty bad. It is kind of close to power lines. I mean, the antenna is, the tree is, but I have the antenna on the other side of the tree, so it ain't going to fall on the power line.
Ah, very good. Well, very good. Anything else for the net, Charles? Yeah, I'll see if I can't contact who I know up there. Maybe able to come over and help you.
Well, that's really it. I started checking. I checked it a little while. Going to hear everyone, whoever can hear me. Staying busy working. There's a couple days of sleep, but the shoulder's been bothering me. But I'll get through it.
Very good. Yeah, the tough guys can take it, Charles.
Good evening.
All right, have a good one, Charles. That's Charles, Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Foxtrot. He's up in near Jolton. Who else is short on time?
Comment.
Hey, go ahead.
We're not. There's three of us waiting on YouTube, but we don't see you streaming yet.
Oh, that's funny because it shows it's streaming right now. Hold on one second. It's almost as if there's another. I know I'm streaming here. Oh, that's weird. Hold on one second. You know, it's funny. There's it appears there's one streaming on another page for some reason, but hold on one second. It says there's one watching, and I don't. Oh man, I am on that. Oh, that's weird. I'm actually streaming on another. Can you hear it?
You look normal here. You're in two places.
Oh, that's weird. Well, I should only be on a 1, so you might have to refresh your browser or go to K4PEW and on the internet and go back to that feed because I'm only there once. I should only be there once. Anyway, give it a try. I don't know what went wrong because I had started the thing and then I thought I accidentally stopped it, and I did stop it. I started up another one, and it's as if YouTube didn't get the information that I stopped when I started the other one. It was weird. I don't know. I've never done that before, so yeah, that's what I always say. Anyway, we'll give it a try. I mean, we've got to try going to K4PEW and do it looking at it again, yeah, or refresh it or whatever. So sorry about that. Anybody else short on time?
That worked for me, KD4TV.
Okay, it worked for Greg. Let's see if it works for somebody else. Jack?
Yeah, it worked for me and Greg too.
Okay, very good, very good. Yeah, for any of you that missed it, it was something weird about that because I actually I started it and it was ready to roll, and I fired up something else and didn't realize I fired it up on the same tab. So YouTube never got a signal for it to quit, even though I quit that tab in the browser. It was weird. Like I said, I don't even know how that would work. Anyway, it's one of those mysterious Google things that monitoring my house, you know. Anyway, who else is short on time?
WV4D, Ken, and Smyrna.
Hey, Whiskey 4 Delta, Victor 4 Delta. How you doing, Ken?
Doing good, buddy. Thank you for doing the net.
I want to slide out of here and get back to work.
Oh man, you're working like a, I had a guy, an old friend of mine, he since passed away. He was much older than you and me. Every single time you asked him what he was doing, he was a very successful guy too. Every time you asked him, you go, "How's it going?" His name was, oh man, his name escapes me. For Stan. I said, "Stan, how's it going?" Every time he'd say, "Working like a slave."
Well, not quite that bad here, but just getting my laser business started up.
Very good. I'm glad it's going well.
Yes, sir. You have a good night. 73 to everybody listening. You too, Paul. Thank you for the net. WV4D clear.
Yeah, very good. That was Ken in Smyrna. He's whiskey. He is Whiskey Victor 4 Delta. And I'm going to throw a little blurb on. He makes ham radio, laser burnt, call sign displays for your shack, which would be kind of cool. Whiskey Victor 4D. Look him up on the web. Hey, Ken, you need to put one of those samples up on your webpage.
You are correct. I should. I will when I have time.
Oh man, when you have time, you don't have to sleep.
You don't know me very well, do you?
Yeah, very good. Anyway, Ken, Whiskey Victor 4 Delta. Who else is? I got to put the one I have. I'll put mine up on there until it's yours. Who else is short on time? All righty, we'll go ahead and start from the north. Please come down. That was a rousing. There was too many people in there. Going over to the west then.
WB0 and hello north.
Donaldson.
TJS.
Hold on one second. North came in a little slow, so hold on, Mr. West, the other west and the third west. How you doing, Mark?
Oh, doing well. I just couldn't get here quick enough. I heard you from across the room.
Okay. Well, I just figure everyone. I mean, everybody who's in their ham radio, they're sitting there right there, microphone in hand, staring at their radio the whole time, starting at about 7:55.
Well, normally I am, but I wasn't tonight. I apologize.
Yeah, your wife made you do.
Now, she doesn't make me do anything.
No, you do everything willingly, right?
Exactly.
That's right. I try to do things before. I do the laundry before she even makes me do it.
Oh, me too. Well trained. That's what that is.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny because I don't mind doing any of that stuff.
Yep, I don't either. All right. Well, glad you let me in. Have a good day. I'll be listening. WB0 and a welcome.
Yeah, very good, Mark. Glad to have you in there. That's Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar. He's in northwest Wilson County, up by the, if you guys know where the weather station is up there, where they got that radar for the National Weather Service. I think I heard Michael in there, TJF.
Well, yes, you sure is, Paul. How are you today?
I'm good. You're a little scratchy tonight.
Well, I'm in Ashland City, and I'm on the 700. It's doing better tonight than the beam.
Yeah, it's doing okay, but I couldn't hear you at all on the D-Star. I mean, on the CF4 FM thing at all. Zero.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you, but I got your check-in from Charles, and we only had 3 check-ins on C4 FM.
Yeah, I know. We only had 4, and the fourth one was Chris, and he checked in 10 minutes after the net closed.
Well, 4 is better than 3.
Yeah, very good. You got Rick there with you too?
Yeah, Rick's here with me, and so check him in.
Ah, very good. You're gonna have to send a proof of life, a picture like with today's newspaper or something.
I can do that. I'm not prepared right now, though.
All right, very good. Very good. That was Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot, and Rick, Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot, both in Ashland City tonight. Very bad, not very good conditions tonight, but I couldn't hear Michael at all on the Fusion net, and he's using the same antenna, or I think you're on the same antenna on the vertical.
Yes, I actually tried them both, and the vertical worked better.
Okay, very good. Anyway, we tried, and the conditions are a little sketchy tonight. I think I heard Jack in there. Was that you, Jack?
Yeah, I'm here, and Larry got delayed, so I got voted to call the D-Star Net. We had 4 check-ins tonight on D-Star.
Okay, very good. That's must be a ball game or something that I guess.
I don't know, but anyway, that's all I have. Thanks for doing the net, Paul. Appreciate it. 73 to everybody, and back to you. KG4ILD. I'm clear.
Yeah, we had 4 on D Star. I mean dang. We had 4 on DMR, 4 on C4FM, and 4 on D Star. So we're a match set tonight. So very good. That was Jack KG4ILB, and he's in Donelson. That's a new location for him. No, it's KG4ILB, Jack and Donelson. Who else is West? All righty, Greg. Yeah, that's funny. Only 4 people on each of the nets.
Don't forget we have 4 on 220 there.
Oh yeah, that's right. On our informal net, that's right. Yeah, anybody remember anybody who has or wants to get? I know you guys are all dying to get on 220, so go out and buy that $150 radio and make a 220 antenna, because a 220 antenna costs more than a radio. So, or unless you're at a real high elevation, and you can use a cheap antenna.
$88 radio, don't forget, 25 watt quad band.
Oh, that's right. There is an $88 quad band 25 watt radio on eBay, so don't forget about that. So there's opportunities to get in a little cheaper, and we have a good time. It's nice to be on I'll call it the secret 220 frequency, 223 415. So very good, Greg. Anything else for the net?
I had a kitten come into my yard the other day, and when I was putting up that antenna that I just made, so it apparently moved into my garage, so I'm going to name it Doggy.
So now you have another kitten?
Be number 8.
Oh man, that one smelled your other crew.
I don't know. That's supposed to keep them away.
Oh, that's wild. Maybe you smelled the food or the poop.
Well, you may have heard me mention I'm the beast master, and I knew something's been going on because all kinds of strange animals are glomming towards me that don't normally, and I knew something was coming toward me. I thought it was going to be a dog or a puppy, but it turned out to be a kitten.
I'll be glad it's not a coyote.
Yeah, they're here, I bet, though.
I don't know. They're within a couple of miles of me, the reports.
Yeah, they're amazing at not being seen.
Yeah, my wife says, I hope they don't get into our yard. I go, you'll never see them at night. You won't ever even know they're there.
They're all over your yard.
Well, we have a fence, but I'm guessing they can slide underneath on the real narrow portions.
They are known to be wily.
And anyway, that was Greg. He's in Antioch. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Anybody else West?
KO4. Donnie over here in Bellmead.
Hey, Donnie, hold on one second. Had you doubled with Roy up in Madison?
That is correct. How are you doing tonight, Paul?
Oh, I'm doing great. The more I exercise, the more I realize I don't like exercising.
Yep, there you go. Well, good enough. I know there's a lot of people trying to get on here. Just thought I'd give my little 2 cents in. So, KO4OK out on your final.
Yep, with the new recent inflation, it's no longer 2 cents, it's $2.
Good enough.
All right. That was Roy. He's in Madison. Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Kilo Echo. Donnie, give me I know your call is TIZ. What's the prefix again?
Kilo Oscar 4, Tango India Zulu.
Yeah, very good. The conditions aren't very good tonight because your signal is on. But were you in the same location last night or not than you are tonight?
No, I'm about 10 miles west of where I normally am.
Yeah, because you were 60 over last night, as I recall. Tonight you're about S5, and I can hear you fine, but your signal is just marginal. It's just I say your audio is just fairly subnormal, I'll say.
That's kind of what I figured. I was running late, and I just stayed a little closer to home tonight. Just tried to jump in here and say, hey there, buddy.
No, actually, you know what I'm saying? It's not that it's horrible. It's just that it's horrible compared to last week.
No worries. Cool deal.
Very good. That's Donnie in Bellmead. Kilo Oscar 4 Tango India Zulu. Good, really good signal, really, for Bellmead, because Bellmead usually or often can have a really bad location. Who else is west? Anybody else west? How about south?
Hey, Paul, KM4TM.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Not too bad. Just relaxing with the wife, kind of watching some TV and listening to the net. Just thought I'd check in and wave a hand and say hello to everybody. Nothing major to report from this end.
Yeah, very good. It was a beautiful day to do nothing.
Yeah, it was a gorgeous day. It's supposed to be nice for the next week or more. And I was looking at the simulcast on YouTube here. It looked like my signal is way down S8, and I'm usually 20 or 30 over. I don't know what's going on tonight. I've got a lot of hash in my receiver. Seems like the noise level is really high. Are you hearing the same thing?
Yeah, no, your signal, your audio is always good. It's just that I noticed the same thing. It is about half, but almost everybody's is lower than they normally would be, especially if they're farther away. But I think we get just bad conditions tonight because, like I said, I had some other issues with, on both the DMR and the D-Star, not the the DMR and the Fusion was the same kind of thing.
Yeah, there's something going on. I was looking at my SWR, make sure it's about a 1.2. So I think everything's working on the transmit side, still same power level. So just got weird conditions tonight. But anyway, nothing else. Paul, just saying hello and thanks for doing what you're doing. KM410.
Yeah, for those, very good. That was Tom, Kilo Mike 4 Tango Mike. And also you can see at the bottom of my screen when I'm not transmitting. Oh, that trashy noise at the bottom. Somebody who's got a really weak signal is a problem for me, but I haven't had that issue tonight. Anyway, that was Tom, Kilo Mike 4 Tango Mike. He is in Rockvale. Who else is south?
W04Y.
Wow, W. I don't know. Did you hear that hash in there, or was that you? I heard some really loud hash in there, but that wasn't you, was it?
Did you copy W4OI?
Yeah, no, I'm copying Mike fine. I just I didn't do. I heard all. Did you hear any other hash in there, or is my swells too far open? Mike, go ahead again.
Talking to me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know if you could hear me. I hear some other noise in there that apparently is not you, and I don't know what it is. It's a really loud hash because I'm wearing headphones, so it really hits hard when it hits me.
No, you, Tom, and Jack are really loud tonight. W04Y.
Yeah, I think we got some weird signals, Mike. We really do. Really strange conditions, excuse me, creating some odd locations. Some signals are half what they should be, and others are much better. Like you have a great signal tonight.
Well, we're just shooting right across the lake from each other.
Oh yeah, I know. It's not hard. It's not hard to get from Laverne. You're right, but you never know. I'm telling you, it's even from it's like Greg in Antioch can often not hear Tony in Smyrna, and he's only a few miles south.
Yeah, 2 meters is really odd, especially on the FM.
Well, even when we got into the 220 as well as the 220 band, as well as on the DMR, it really stunk. But there is between Smyrna and Antioch, there's a 800-foot hill. It's kind of like the Great Wall of Smyrna, almost just northwest of Smyrna. That's a heck of a hill.
Where's that point at? Where are you talking about?
If you would look up the location of I'll get my call straight here in a second. KG4, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll get it right. Hold on. Got to get my brain screwed on straight here. Greg's call is KD4 CVE, and he's in Antioch. And KF4, KFQ is in Smyrna, almost due southeast of Gray. And there, if you look on an elevation map, if you can find one, between those two locations, it's an 800 foot versus each of those guys are at roughly 600 feet. I'm going to say 600 because I'm not sure what their elevation is. It's a real barrier to getting signals between the two of them.
Yeah, the hill is like I-24 Sam Ridley-ish.
Oh, where the TVA stuff is.
There's a couple different antenna farms there, and I think maybe 145 receiver may be up there.
Yeah, I know where you're talking about now. Up on old National Highway.
Yeah, but you sound real good tonight, as well as the Smyrna station was real good. So far, I'm here in Rutherford County tonight, which I don't always.
Anyway, no, very good to have you. No, there was just another, it sounded like somebody was breaking squelch, but it was really loud, but there was no audio. But it wasn't you. Like, it wasn't, I thought it was you, but it's not. You had nothing to do with it.
Well, anyway, I've got a new radio here, a new used radio. It has like 3 power levels. I left the HTs down at the farm. But apparently I'm supposed to be putting out maybe 60 watts now. So I don't know if I sound better than I used to.
Well, if I look at the recordings, I'll tell you, but you sound great right now. Your audio is outstanding.
Okay. I even with my glasses, I can't tell you it's a Yaesu, it's a FT model. But anyway, it's a single band 2 meter transceiver for FM strictly, and I don't have a watt meter, so I don't know for real what it's putting out.
Well, I'll just say I only usually pay attention if somebody has an outrageously big signal and audio, or I can't hear them well. And I hear you. If I wasn't looking at the screen, I would have never guessed if your signal was any less than 20 or 30 or 40 over. But your signals, I'll have to look at it again. But it's like an S7, I think, or S8, and I hear your audio is fantastic.
And I also put the antenna mast back up. So it's back up where it used to be, about 30 feet now, and I hear Tom so much better.
Well, I think you hear Tom if you had a handheld.
Well, no, when I dropped it down, he actually he was hard to hear.
Oh, that's interesting. Because as you know, his tower is up about 80 feet.
Oh yeah, 80 feet, 100 watts, but it's weird, on VHF, you drop the antenna or raise it a few feet, makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, definitely. Anyway, anything else for that, Mike?
I don't reckon.
Okay, very good. That was Mike, and he is in. Where is Mike? Oh yeah, that's right. He's in Laverne. Whiskey Oscar 4 Yankee. Great signal, by the way. A really good audio tonight on that new radio. So be happy. I don't know how much you paid for it, but it was well worth it. Who else is Sal?
Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet.
Hey, hey Jim. I was thinking about you yesterday. I drove to St. Louis on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, and we went to a show at this event in this entertainer. And it's 4.5 hours to go watch an entertainer. It cost me $400 to go see an entertainer. So anyway, I thought of you because it was really funny to me that I saw one biker on the road. He was driving a really nice, I don't even know what kind of bike it was. Anyway, and he actually, he was passing me. I have no idea why. He pulls up alongside me, and I just happened to notice him out the corner of my eye. I looked over at him. He looks over at me, and I have no idea. Because he slowed down when he pulled up next to me. And he waved. I was going, hey, how you doing? I thought, what did you notice? What is it, I got a flat tire or what?
He's just saying hi and make sure you see him.
I guess. It was just funny to me. It was just, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I'll tell you more about it later. But he was having a good time. I mean, it looked like he was having a good time. He had his The bike had a little bit of a rake on it, just a little bit, on the handlebars, and he was driving, of course, with his feet up on the I don't know what you call those upper foot pedals.
Oh, most of the time they call them highway pegs. You throw them up there, you kick back and relax when you're cruising down the highway.
Oh, I get it. I'm telling you, I've never been to St. Louis before, and I've never driven there before. I don't remember if I've been. I might have been there in an airplane on a flight or something. I don't believe I was. Anyway, there is a lot of lonely cornfields going all the way to St. Louis, I'll tell you.
Well, and when we went out to Billings, Montana, we rode up to St. Louis in Iowa and South Dakota, and there's a lot of nothing. Well, there's stuff, but not a lot of buildings. A lot of cornfields, a lot of other fields, wide open spaces, big sky country. It's definitely an experience, and most of the time it was very windy. And but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'd do it again. I liked it. It was almost. I think it took us almost 1,800 miles to get out there, and obviously 1,800 miles to come back. But yeah, we had a good time, and yeah, it can be lonely out there on the road. You might just be saying hi and make sure there's another human being out there. Who knows?
Yeah, I was just reading, coincidentally, an article about the Conestoga wagons. They would leave from all parts of the East going across on the Oregon Trail. And I thought to myself, holy crap, they traveled a lot of, and most of them walked because they couldn't get in their Conestoga wagons because it was full of all their stuff. And so they walked. So they said in the supplies, they had to take 10 pairs of shoes to make the trip all the way to Oregon.
Oh, I believe it. And, riding across, like, say, South Dakota, it just makes you wonder what they're going through their minds of the wagon trains and what have you going out there. You swear to God it was never going to end. and the wind was never going to let up.
Oh, I believe it. No, that's what I'm saying is that when I've flown over most of the middle of the country, and if that doesn't give you proof that we're a huge breadbasket of the world, that's the only proof there is. Just fly over farmland.
Oh yeah, things to look at is cows in cornfields and cows in cornfields, and windmills and in certain part of the country you see the oil derricks pumping away. Yeah, it's unique. I suggest anybody travel across the United States and see it for yourself instead of pictures, because pictures don't do it justice. I'm working on setting up going camping off the motorcycle and trailer, so collecting all our gear, and it's surprising how expensive the stuff has become. So pair of cots and a tent, and tables and stoves and sleeping bags, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, the stuff gets really expensive, but anyways, that's kind of what I'm getting into now. I won't bore everybody, so go ahead, take it away, and thanks for letting me check in. Good to hear you, Paul. KE4TYJ.
Man, a real man would not take a tent or chairs. He'd go out there with an axe and a hatchet and build him a lean-to out of lumber he cut himself.
You just watch. I'll open that trailer up, and 2 cots will come out, 2 chairs, a big grilling table, camp stove, cook set, sleeping bags, cot, tent, what else? Food, water. Just because you're camping don't mean you have to be uncomfortable.
Oh, I know what you mean. I've been out camping a lot. I'll just use that term. I loved it. Always did.
And when I was active duty, we did that for a living. And my mother, of all people, says, "Well, I used to camp a lot, Mom." Yeah, I told her, I said, "Mom, I camp for a living for most of my life and all over the country, and I'm not going to be uncomfy anymore."
No, that's forced camping.
It wasn't because we want to. We were as comfortable as we could be. I slept in mud holes and rocks and snow and ice and rain and oh my God, you name it. But yeah, this is for recreation and relaxation. So yeah, I got my coffee percolator, and I'm trying to do everything right. I'm practicing making coffee with the percolator over the camp stove. So when I get out there, I'm not frustrated and it comes out like crap. I'll figure it out first. Loading all my stuff in the trailer, getting it set to where it's going to fit, and the tongue weight right, so everything works out well. So yeah, it's just practice and just repetition, getting everything done with it.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, you do have to properly plan, that's for sure. Well, very good. That was Jim. He's in Woodbury. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. A great signal, by the way, Jim. Who else is south? Anybody else south or east?
KG4 CXC, Chris in Rural Hill.
Rural Hill Chris. That's who you are now. How you doing, Chris?
Well, at least it's more accurate than anything else. I'm good. How about you, man?
It's hard to be accurate. It's an unincorporated area that can't even be defined.
Hey, throw a dart.
No, you know what I'm saying. When I lived in Florida, you probably maybe even heard of it. There's only 3 cities in the county I lived in, which was Tampa. There's 3 cities in Hillsborough County. Tampa, Plant City, which is not a big city. It's kind of like Lebanon. And then another little tiny city called Temple Terrace. It's like a wart on Tampa's side. You wouldn't even know you went through it. And but right next to Tampa, 5 miles away in the county, is a town called no, it's not even a town. It's a place called Brandon, Florida. It is, in fact, the governor of Florida had an event in Brandon, Florida, to talk about the president because he was in Brandon. Okay, you'll get the joke. Anyway, this town, which doesn't have anything, it's not a village, it's not a city, it's not anything. It's just a name of a place, and it doesn't have any boundaries. There's over 100,000 people. It has a pretend mayor, which doesn't even get paid. Just pretend. They have fun with it. But 100,000 people, and it says it has a big name on a map, Brandon.
So what you're telling me is I could go far in this little unincorporated corporate entity.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping me. No, it's just funny as the places get names, and they're really, it's like Rural Hill. It's a thing. It's like what down in, I forget which county it's in, Possum Trot. It's got a sign. It says Possum Trot, but it's not really doesn't have any boundaries.
Yeah, well, someone made it hard for me to be precise with this location before I knew exactly where I was. So I blame it on the people who planned the city. But I looked at the city map, and it's not part of Mount Juliet. It's city proper, if you will. And then I look, it's not part of Gladeville, but I mean, it is Rural Hill. It's not Suggs Creek. So, but what is it really? Somewhere in Wilson County. Yeah.
Well, it's the same deal though, and I've had that complaint. I don't want to go into it, but Davidson County has all those places, that are names, and Donaldson and Hermitage and et cetera, et cetera. Just name it. There's a bunch. I don't even know how many there are, but none of them are well defined. In fact, I don't think they are defined. I don't think you can define them. They may have defined them in the past when they were actually towns.
Yeah, it's just a spot that it's an old name for a section before cities and such.
Yeah, because I forget which one it is. When you're coming off of Briley and you get on 70 going east, it says welcome to, I forget what it says. I don't think it might say Donaldson. I don't know what it says. I'm thinking it doesn't. There's not another sign when you're leaving, and there's not another sign that says welcome to Hermitage or welcome to. It just to me it's just kind of dumb.
It's just holding up with what was called before, basically just keeping it alive.
I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe we all ought to make up our own names of areas. Like here, they do the same thing in Mount Juliet. The different neighborhoods, they call them all different names, but I can't give you the boundaries.
I'm going to go with Chrisville then. That's my proper name, but if you want to really calculate it, it's Rural Hill.
Yeah, we'll live with that. Rural. Let's see, that's what they always say in the crime shows. It was a nice little rural area.
It was. It took a while. I had to practice it to get it right. It takes a little bit of work. It's worth it.
Yeah, I got it. Anyway, Anything else for the net, Chris? By the way, 10 meters was killer open this afternoon.
Yeah, here's something funny. I switched up the antenna night for the 6 meters, and I rolled by 10, on the way. And this antenna loves to just collect signals, which is the one cool thing about it. I can listen to 14 megahertz and such as well. But I heard some signals on 10, so I knew something was happening over there.
No, I was using my long wire, which is 240 feet long or whatever it is. And I don't know if I've ever even used it on 10 before. It was the only one connected to, so I turned it on, tuned it on 10. I was talking to California to like 6 stations.
Wow.
Yeah, I was amazed. It was that the conditions were outrageously good. Anyway, all right, that's all you got, Chris?
That's all I got. Well, it sounds like I missed some 10 meter activity. 73. We'll catch you on the next one.
Very good. That was Chris in Rural Hill. Look it up. KG4CXE. Who else is east? East or south, anyway.
W4MUF.
Mr. MUF, how you doing, Jimmy?
Doing okay, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing great. I bet you were following that hurricane pretty good this past weekend.
I did follow it. I don't know if it wasn't all that closely, but I was following it. I was really impressed by one of the night satellite visual images over Florida the night after it crossed the Florida Peninsula. And you could see the lights from Tampa Bay were pretty clear, but there was nothing south of Tampa Bay that was on. And also in the inland portion of Florida, Orlando was supposed to be pretty bright. It is bright normally, but it was totally dark.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they said, I heard somebody say on it was on one of the newscasts, it said that, I think it said 40,000 people were standing by from the other local utility companies as well as the Florida utility companies, ready to put everything back in order.
Yeah, sure. They'll get power back in the next 2 weeks, but rebuilding the areas, they'll be taking a long time.
Yeah, I used to, in fact, a friend of mine lives down there. He lives on Naples, only about 1,000 yards from the water. So I suspect he's flooded. And even if I send him an email, I don't think he'd get it. But if you've ever been to Naples or to Fort Myers or that area in general, you realize what a mess that would be with a 10, 12 foot storm surge.
And what I didn't realize was that little strip island west of Fort Myers, Sanibel Island, I didn't realize there come before and after pictures of it. There's a lot of people live on that little island.
Yes, Sanibel has wealthy people living on that island and some resorts as well. I've stayed down there a few times. And then just north of that is Captiva Island that people live on. And it doesn't have any bridges at all. You have to take a boat or a plane to get on Captiva Island.
I sort of wonder, in retrospect, why the authorities would allow people to actually put homes on those islands.
Well, I would guess that there are occasions that a Category 5 could take it and make that barrier island not a barrier anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Probably cut it somewhere.
Well, you notice it undercut the bridge to the Sanibel Island.
Yeah, it knocked the bridge out to Sanibel. Yeah, that's true. But, it was a Category 4, almost Category 5.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want a difference of a few miles an hour. It doesn't make any difference. That's like getting hit with a 300-pound guy or a 310-pound guy. What's the difference?
Yeah, people out here don't realize, they have some experience with tornadoes where winds go up to 150 miles an hour, then they go back down to nothing like 5 minutes later, But they don't understand what it's like to have a 120-mile-an-hour wind for 24 hours.
No, I didn't have anything that bad. I saw it some other places, not down in Florida, though. But yeah, the winds can be horrendous, especially those, oh my gosh. I don't know. You don't really want to be in it for certain. I know I've been in some pretty high winds down there with some near hits that we had down in Florida. But I knew we never got a direct hit. And Tampa got spared. A major municipality got spared again.
Yeah, well, 24 hours of hurricane winds will really tear an area apart.
Well, it's going to take them. Well, here's two things that are going to happen, because I know from my experience of 36 years down there. Number one, that is going to take them 2 years, 3 years maybe, to get back to even close to square one for the tourism and retirement community in Fort Myers. And this is also going to prompt people to leave that area due to their own personal devastation, and they're not coming back.
Yeah, that's true. Probably some people are not going to be able to rebuild, and they're just going to move on, but you know, that's, you know, they know what the risk. They know what the risk was they were taking though.
Oh no, I agree. I'm not saying I don't feel sorry for them, but they do know the risks. There are there are retired people who were living just in mobile home communities down there that got hit really bad in that whole area, and some of those people, I'm guessing, may not have even had insurance, so they may be just wiped out. So yeah, there's all these risks going when you live in an area that, of course, they had. You know, if you remember correctly, Jimmy, you were still working then. Hurricane Charlie, that's where they came. It came ashore. There was in Punta Gorda, just north of that, just barely north of Fort Myers.
Yeah, Charlie was a bad one. Look, I gotta be going. I gotta watch the rest of this football game. Thanks for doing that, there, Paul.
Very good, Jimmy. This is with Jimmy here in Mount Juliet, Whiskey 4, Mike Uniform Foxtrot. Who else is east or anywhere? Okay, those watching the football game, please come now.
KO40 TV.
Hey, you had 1-0 signal there on what was it? Well, you were trying to get to us on which band?
DMR. I've never had that problem before from me to use. I don't know what the heck it was, man. I'm sitting here contemplating getting a beam thing.
Well, yeah, even a small beam, but I'm telling you, the reason it was bad is because it had the same problem locally with other people on DMR as well as on 2 meters. The signals got wacky from far away. I couldn't hear Mike at all from where he is, where he is in Ashland City. To me, I can normally hear Mike. He's at his brother's location, and couldn't hear him at all on Fusion.
Yeah, that digital's finicky. But we talked last week about 10 meters, man. And I got into the net. I guess it was Sunday night, and I mean, it sounded like when I was talking to Michael, he was running 1,000 watts, but he was just running 100 watts, man. I could not believe how well I could hear him.
Yeah, no, well, again, last week he was in Ashland City.
Oh, well, that makes all the sense in the world. I mean, I've never heard anything like that come out of it. I mean, it sounded like he was right next door.
Well, he was pretty close. He was close there. Yeah, very good, Joel. You got anything else for the net?
No, man, that's it tonight. Y'all doing 6 meter?
Yes, we're going to go to the 2 meter upper sideband on 144.240 and then over to 6 meters. By the way, I don't know if you're able to. I have your email, or can you email me if I don't have it? I'm not sure if I have your email.
Yeah, I can take you. I got your phone number.
Okay, yeah, just give it to me. And I don't know if you can give a hand to somebody up there in your neck of the woods. He just needs a little bit of help getting an antenna straightened up. Anyway, I'll let you know. You can be the judge. That was anyway. That's Joel. Kilo Oscar 4 Oscar Tango Victor west of Joelton. By the way, good signal on 2 meters. You're doing great. Who else is anywhere?
JD4 VUW. Carlin, Bethpage.
Hello, Mr. Carlin. How you doing?
Doing all righty there. I didn't know if you did the north or not. I was assuming you did. Could have been wrong, but anyhow, just curious. You gonna do the 220 thing tonight also?
You can come up on 220 after the other nets because we monitor the other ones that we're just so hungry for 220. We got our radios on all the time.
Okay, well, I thought I'd hook up my F6 there into my Astron 35M there. I've got a cord I made a couple years ago for charging my TH78A. I got to thinking, that thing will probably fit that F6. So I plugged that cord in the side of it. Doggone if it didn't. And so I'll be not just on battery like I was last time. I'll be actually on a big power supply running that little dude.
All right, sounds good. Anything else for the net, Carlin? You sound real good.
Now, I was just wondering if I was going to get checked in. I didn't know if you did the north already. So anyway, I guess I'll ease out of here and let y'all go on what you're going to do, and I'll be listening up on 220, I reckon. So with that said, we'll hand the net back over to you, KD4 VUW.
Yeah, very good. That's Carlin and Bethpage, Kilo Delta 4, Victor Uniform Whiskey. Anybody else, any place, anywhere? Another short net, but that's great. I think people are watching the ball game.
We had 19 so far, but any other check-ins before we move over to 2 meter upper sideband? All righty, that was 19. Slim pickings. That must be a good football game. We haven't had 19 in a long time, but again, I don't get worried about that stuff. We do it anyway. I do it if there was only 9. Maybe I do it if there was only 2 of us. I would do it if there was only 2 of us. I've done it. Anyway, we're going to move over to 144.240. 144.240 upper sideband. And I'll see you there, K4P. This is K4PEW, the Mount Juliet Simplex Net on 144.240. Who is out there from the north? Please come now. North or west?
KM4YRF.
Got you in there. Is Rick in there too?
He is KM4TJF.
Yeah, very good. Hope all is well over there. You sound pretty good.
Well, good. Sideband works pretty well.
Oh yeah, it does. It works great. Gets through when DMR and D-Star and Fusion can't. Anyway, that was Rick and Michael, KM4YRF, Mike, and KN4 TJF, Rick in near Ashland City. Who else is west?
KG4ILD, Jack and Donaldson.
Hey, Jack, you must copy Rick and Mike pretty good tonight.
Oh, yeah, they sound great.
Yeah, very good. That was Jack and Donaldson, Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Who else is west? West or south?
Kilo Echo 4, Tango Yankee Juliet.
Oh, yeah, big signals. Are you copying everybody else tonight there, Jim?
I'm pointing mostly towards you and over there in Donaldson. I hear Jack, and there's a couple of them I didn't hear, but for the most part, yeah. If they're northwest of me, I got a copy on them. Oh,
I got you. Yeah, very good. All righty, that was Jim in what do you call it? I always get it mixed up. Isn't that terrible? He's in
Woodbury.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of Woodbury. I don't know why. Woodbury. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. Got me all flustered here. Who else is west or south?
Hey, Paul, KM4 TM, Tom and Rockville.
Hey, very good. Who's winning the ball game?
I'm watching the ball game. What ball game's on?
I don't know. Somebody told me there was a ball game on, so I don't know. I don't watch many of the ball games anymore.
I'm not watching the ball game. I'm watching On Patrol, the live PD. It's really entertaining.
Oh, I'll bet it is. Very good. That was Tom, Kilo Mike 4 Tango Mike, a big signal out of Brockvale. Who else is south? Anybody south or east? Southeast or anywhere?
KG4 CXC, Chris and Rural Hill.
Well, I didn't call for Rural Hill, did I?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I think you're the first person. Well, Donnie was in Rural Hill. I think he told me that one time on the air, but it didn't matter because he really lives in Hermitage where he lives.
That's funny.
That is funny. Anyway, that was Chris and I want to say Donaldson. Man, I'm stuck on that word. Chris in Rural Hill, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. Anybody else? Any place anywhere? All right, very good. A whopping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on upper sideband on 144.240. We're going to move right over to 6 meters. Somebody tell them over there at 415. That's what we're doing. This is K4PW QSYing to 50.135. All righty, this is K4PEW with 6 meters. We're on 50.135 from Mount Juliet. This is K4PEW. Looking for check-ins from the north. North or west? Oh man, this is awful. You are really low signal tonight, Jay. Wow. Yeah, I knew it was pretty quiet earlier this evening. I wondered if it was going to stay the same. Who else is north or west? Jack, are you copying anybody? All righty. Looking for north, west, or south?
Hey, Paul, KM4TM, Tom and Rockville.
Oh, you got a big signal, Tom. Where do you have your 6 meter? On top of the near the top of the tower?
Yeah, it's I guess about 75 feet. It's at 3 on the step hour Yankee. It's 75 feet, and I'm about 600 watts.
Well, that's why you got such a giant signal. You're doing great, Tom. It was Kilo Mike 4 Tango Mike in Rockville. Big signal. Biggest on a band tonight, that's for certain. Who else is south? Oh, I heard somebody out there. Who was that? Tom, are you copying that?
No, I got nothing. I was showing an S2 on your S meter. I don't know how big is that. That's not a very big signal there, Paul.
Yeah, but I can hear you fine.
Oh, good. Well, that's all that matters.
No, really, it's just funny how signal strength doesn't necessarily seem to quantify how good it is, you know?
Yeah, well, you're 10 over 9 down here. I got a good major strong signal on you, but I'm not hearing anybody else.
Oh, I got you. I understand. It's wacky on 6 meter. Very quiet otherwise. Who else is, okay, Tom, appreciate you being there. Who else is, who was that station I couldn't hear? Ah, very good. I did copy that. I turned up the volume on my headphone here. It's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. That's Jim in Woodbury. I believe that's who it was. It was Jim, right? Yeah, very good. Very low. I mean, I had to really work my ears to hear that one. So the next person was going to blast me out. Who else? That was Jim in Woodbury, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. Who else is south or east?
KG4CXE, Chris in Royal Hill.
Okay, it's now going to be called RH. Okay, it's Chris in RH, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. Anybody else? Any place, anywhere?
Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Tango Victor.
Hey, good Joel. You got a big signal out of Joelton tonight. It must be good between. You're one of the bigger signals.
I don't know, man. Different antenna, I guess.
I don't know. You're doing great. Which antenna are you on?
I'm on that off-center fed 82.6.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me earlier. I was working in California on 10 meters on my 240-foot wire.
Man, that's awesome. It's rare I get to get on 10, but when it propagates, man, it's amazing how far out. It's similar to 6 in a way.
Oh, yeah, it was killer. I mean, I could not believe how many stations I could hear from out west.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, and I haven't been on, which I know 80 meters is insane right now. I was just on there when I turned the radio on just a second ago, and I couldn't believe how many people were in there. It's insane.
Yeah, and where did you say they're on right now, you say?
Oh, no, I was. Right before I switched over here, I've got so many channels saved into this thing. I just kind of flip through until I hit the one I need, that kind of thing. But, yeah, I was down there in 80 meters there, around 75 meters, I'd say. Yeah,
I got you. Well, very good. That was Joel, Kilo Oscar 4 Oscar Tango Victor, west of, I guess, tell me again, is it west of Ashland City, or is it easier to say west of Joelton?
Well, I have an Ashland City address, but yeah, I'm west. I'm in the game reserve up here in Ashland City, which it's fairly famous. I mean, it's been up here a long time. People come hunting up here a lot. Yeah, it's widely popular between the hunting community.
Oh yeah, no, I know of it. I've never been up that I know of. I may have driven through it or around it, but I just know of it because Rick, Rick KN for TJF. He lives up in Ashland City, right adjacent to it, I think.
Oh yeah, and he probably has been hunting up here since he was a kid. Most of the people live around here have. They've even got a little store up here that, it's different owners throughout the years closed in because it's kind of far out, and there's pictures all over that place, man, of old just deers and turkeys, anything you can think of up there.
Oh, I get it. Yep. Very good. That was Joel, Kilo Oscar 4 or Oscar Tango Victor in the hunting capital of Middle Tennessee, maybe. Who else is any place, anywhere? Anybody, any place? Well, I think that's going to wrap us up here on 6 meters upper sideband. And anybody wants to check in on 220 afterwards, you're welcome to it. Anyway, we had 6 on 6 meters and 7 on what do you call it? On 2 meters upper, on 10, excuse me, on 2 meters upper sideband. I'll get it straight here in a second. And then we had 19 on FM, just old FM. So you guys have a great night. I'm gonna leave the net open for anybody who wants to come in on 220 K4PW, closing this portion of the net. K4PW. All right. I don't know. Well, I think that somebody wanted to come in here. Who was it? Carlin. Oh, Carlin's out there. K4PW. Well, like everybody else at the moment, but Carlin said he was going to give it a try. Ah, yeah, very good, Carlin. How much power you got over there now?
Power cable laid up here where I charge up my 878A with the band. And before I checked it out on 2 meters, I got to think about that. I think that thing will actually plug into this everything thing. So I think it doesn't look the side of it dead. So I thought we'll put it, I can run this thing off that 35. Damn power supply there, so just running off the battery and stuff. So anyway, I got it plugged in the power supply. Then I got my little, I guess it's about a foot long. I ain't usually this somewhere around about a foot long little cable. So I can just bring this antenna cable from the back of the 400 and plug it into the cable. And that cable goes to the MC on the top of there. So anyway.
Yeah, no, you sound good, even though it's only 5 watts. I wish you had more power or double or triple the elevation, but yeah, I can still follow you pretty good.
Getting about 5. They got numbers of them. Doggone. Well, maybe that's better than 5.
Yeah, no, you're doing fine. Greg, are you copying him very well out of Beth's page?
I am unable to copy KD4TV.
Well, I'm not too surprised. I mean, it's a little rough. Beth page is not across the street, you know.
I'm thinking that's probably, where's Beth page to be? Northwest?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where that's 90 degrees on my beam.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be tough. Like I said, he's only got 5 watts.
One of these days I'll put this thing on the road.
Yeah, no, I've still got to get my work done here, so I got a lot of stuff to work on. Yo, Carlin.
Where is he at? And by the way, I am on a CX333 common engine with 5 meters, 24.
Oh yeah, I believe that's the same one I have. It's a nice antenna. Greg is in Antioch, so he's just south of the Nashville airport.
Well, that's kind of funny. A friend of mine that lives down there, goes up on a hill down there in that area. Greg's got, he could actually see, that he could see the light back up here. And I think there one night talking to him, Jim Martin, his name, I talked to him, 84 OMG, and I think there one night we was talking on 2 meters on 147.4, and I happened to turn my HD on, and I heard him when I said, heat up on my
Yeah, no, I've talked to him a long time ago. I know who you're talking about. I love that call, K4. OMG.
Oh yeah, he's a good friend of mine. They got out of him radio. He come up here and sold me in 2000, and then got a chance in 2000. He told me he had a problem. I haven't been able to fix it with mine right. I've got the parts. He told me his M6, which I refurbished. He told me a PR40 Powell microphone and the bass stand in my Powell bass. I'm like, I didn't ask him. Like he was needing money or something, I reckon. I don't know, but I bought all that stuff for like about $300, $400. And I was like, golly, I feel like I'm robbing you. He said, no, I'm happy where it is. He just got out of it. I think he's got one radio. I think it's Kenwood 710A mode. I think he still got that. I don't know if he gets on.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, hate to lose a ham radio operator.
Well, I'll shut up. Let's get to see if there's anybody else in here. 84 VUW.
Yeah, very good, Carlin. Yeah, Carlin, for 5 watts, you're doing fine. Like I said, it's a little rough, a whole lot of noise in there, but I can copy it. Greg, are you hearing anybody else?
I'm not hearing Carlin. I think I heard somebody else. Was Jack in there at one point? I think I may have doubled with him, but I heard a strong signal.
Very good. Got you in there, Jack. Well, Jack, are you copying Carlin out of Bethpage? Well, again, he's on 5 watts. Yeah, I understand. That's like our, maybe we ought to cut, there's IQ and then there's EQ, elevation quotient. All right, very good. Is anybody else out there before we mess and close this up? Well, very good. I've got some things. I just realized I turned my video camera around if you're watching the screen. And it was funny. I turned it around so the microphone would be facing this radio, which is on the other end of the deck here. And what's funny about that is, as I turned it around, I looked at the picture and I realized, hey, I'm not in front of the screen. You can't see me. I remember I said, I'm glad I didn't turn it all the way around because I'm sitting here with no shirt on. Oh, I don't know. It just wouldn't have been appropriate, that's for sure. It was just funny because it's not too uncommon for me to be doing that, but I'm usually not on camera. Yeah, so we ought to do another net, maybe on 2 meters. It'll be shirts and skins, I'm sorry, say that again, Jack. You're a little low to me. Anyway, yeah, let me get going here. I got to finish my dinner, and I will catch you guys later. It was great having you on the net. This is K4PW. Good to hear Jack and Carlin and Greg in there. So it's K4PW closing in 73 guys.
It's pointing pretty close